Are you too afraid or too stubborn to heal? Physically, emotionally, mentally, to improve your life? Let me give you an example. There's this lady whom I see on a regular basis. We don't work together, but I see her every third day on average. She's been in my life since a few years ago, so I got to know her quite well. She's generally a bundle of fear and anxiety. Last year, she shared with me that she has been diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. Then some tests results came up that she had some abnormalities in her lymphatic nodes and in her lungs as well. She's generally not a picture of health, let's put it this way. She's around 70, I would say. She's generally an open-minded lady, but when it comes to changing anything that's become so habitual to her, so natural, normal to her, she's just so fearful and anxious. And doing what I do, I suggested my help, and I suggested helping her with adjusting her diet, with ensuring that she has the right nutrition in her diet. And it's not about losing weight only, she's overweight, but it's also about ensuring that she has the right nutrients, all the macro and micro elements in her diet, vitamins, etc., that are necessary for the body to be in equilibrium, in homeostasis. I suggested energy healing, and I explained to her what it is, that it's all the subtle mental and emotional bodies, that I could help her with that. I suggested manual fascia therapy, and she was too afraid of even trying. I lent her a book on holistic healing at some point, and she just could not comprehend it. She was just too overwhelmed, and I completely understand it. It's because at some point when we reach this overwhelm, we are unable to really look after ourselves, because there is no headspace to actually look for any other sources of information. We are so easily controlled by the external environment, by even if the conventions that we are used to are not really helping us, don't really benefit our health, we still stick to them. So she could not read that book. She refused my help. I still supported her in our regular chats and trying to lift her spirit and really hurt her, because that's what she really needed. And this is actually part of a large part of healing process. When we are not always ready for empowerment, for embracing more power in our decisions and changing habits. Sometimes all we need is to actually be heard, and especially when we never felt supported and fully accepted during our lives, and we were unable to speak our truth completely, and we were not really granted that unconditional acceptance and compassion. So at some point, this time comes when all of us need this, and this is completely normal. But I'm a coach as well, and when I see that there are just some small adjustments could already make a big difference, I try to suggest that, and I do. And recently she's been complaining about the treatment, the cancer treatment, and how the medication, all the hormonal stuff, and all the radiation and pills and tablets that she's been taking have been just making her really feel horrible, and she had to stop. And she just told her doctor, one of the doctors, because she's also told me that how many specialists she had to see during this whole process, that there is a specialist for every tiny part of our bodies these days, which I find is actually logical when you consider that every part of our body is connected with the rest of our bodies. It can be so chaotic to be in this system, and so overwhelming, right? I really see that it has gone wrong. Something has gone definitely wrong. We need to come back to some kind of more holistic approach. I don't think this will happen anytime soon in the conventional medical system. So in the meantime, we really need to embrace our health, really look after ourselves holistically, to avoid such situations as going through such treatments and countless examinations, etc. And I've been there as well. It's not this kind of treatments, but I have been there. The amount of resentment and frustration I have experienced towards this system, just as the religious system in my life that I've been exposed to, just like the educational system, it just led me to look for other answers, elsewhere, outside of these conventions that I have been exposed to. I thought I would record this just for you to encourage you to actually go beyond conventions, to be beyond your conventions, whatever they are for you. And I'll just continue that example of this lady. She recently told me, complaining about the procedures, and she had to stop the treatment. She felt horrible, much worse than before the diagnosis, and I suggested maybe you would be more open to acupuncture, for instance, this time I mentioned. And she just opened her eyes, and with this fear in her eyes, and she just shook her head, and she was like, no, not for me. Acupuncture is not part of the conventional medical system in Poland, but if you only do a little bit of research, you will find out that it is part of medical system in a couple of European countries. So this is not something new. Just like energy healing is not something new in India, for instance. There are just many conventions around the globe, and we tend to stick to our own local conventions. And there is also this theme where people stick to the convention of science, the label proved by science, not remembering that science is evolving. Just like we human beings are evolving, science is at its crawling stages, really, of evolution. The fact that conventional science has not proven certain methods that have been around the globe for centuries, and people have been healing holistically with them for centuries, does not mean that they don't work, right? I mean, it's just, for me, it's a logical conclusion. That if science is not able to measure something, it doesn't mean that that something does not exist. And my frustration led me, as I mentioned, to looking for answers elsewhere. And I have analyzed many sources of information, and I have stumbled upon a lot of BS, let's put it this way, as well as many approaches, methods, and therapies and treatments that have been helpful to me. And not only to me, to my clients, to my friends, to my parents, to my family journey. What I would like to encourage you to do is to really start questioning the conventional narrative and to go beyond those conventions, because sticking to them, identifying ourselves with them, tends to keep us stuck in life, stuck in misery of illnesses and disease, and it only really requires us to have just a little bit of courage to test something out, to experiment on ourselves, for ourselves, out of curiosity. Perhaps it is possible to actually heal. Perhaps it is possible that the conventional narrative that is conveyed to the masses on TV, on radios, in newspapers, online, the main online sources, is not the whole picture. Perhaps there are different sources of information that give us better answers, and perhaps these answers have been confirmed many times before. They are just not conventional, not approved by science. And this is something I would like to leave you with. Just I would suggest follow your frustration, follow your curiosity, and have a bit of, with that at least a hint of courage to explore something beyond that has been familiar to you so far. Because to me, when I see that something does not work in my life, I assume that the answers in my head are just not the right ones, and I search for others. We all tend to stay in those loops of cognitive biases, and we assume that there are no better answers, but it's just a matter of really looking. We tend to wait for divine interventions of some sort. I find that it is very deeply ingrained in our psyche, in collective consciousness, that we tend to outsource the creation of our life to higher powers, and that we tend to see ourselves as less than higher powers, and we tend to wait until divine timing comes, not realizing that the divine timing is something that we make. We are multi-dimensional energetic beings, and we create that divine timing. It's just a matter of intention, setting an intention and looking out for different possibilities and opportunities. And just like me presenting different opportunities and possibilities to this lady that I told you about, they always come in. We just need to open our minds up to them. So start really perceiving what comes in as a possibility, as a new opportunity, rather than neglecting and negating it all straight away because of our fearful psychic, of the anxiety that we have built layers upon layers of during our lives. If you struggle with your health and feel like there's too much information, I'm just launching a comprehensive holistic health healing and coaching program which encompasses nutrition, diet, supplementation, emotional healing, energy healing, changing habits, changing lifestyle with step-by-step habit changing, so not to overwhelm you more, but to actually reduce that stress that is continually generated at the back of your head, and which influences your physical health as well. So if this feels like something that you're called to, just reach out. I'll be more than happy to discuss the details with you. I can also share with you some resources about holistic health. I've created a holistic health bundle which includes several things that help you to adjust your diet and to understand what diet is, what nutrients you need in that diet, what you need to ensure that you have on a daily basis for your health to actually thrive, what you need to detoxify your body, what you need in order to stay more hydrated, all sorts of minerals and vitamins, etc., and what sorts of foods to look for them in, because at the end of the day our food is our medicine and it should be seen this way. There is also a recorded meditation with a few of them, an energy portal, and some workbooks helping you to understand certain patterns in your consciousness that are not helping you, that need to be transformed so you are healthier, your energy is stronger, you are more resilient, and you have more energy to enjoy your life as well. So if this sounds interesting, then just drop me a message and I'll share more details on it. If you have any questions, reach out and I will happily share with you to the extent, of course, I am capable to, what I know. And I hope this video encourages you to look for other ways of thinking, feeling and behaving and transforming your health. And let me know what you think.